Welcome back to our Top 100 Players series for 2022-2023. We have an NBA-oriented channel, NBA Uprise, link in the description box below. DeAndre Hunter's career hasn't quite gone as he might have hoped. He's had 3 injury-plagued seasons for the Atlanta Hawks, and he's been inconsistent when he has been available. All 3 years, he's averaged between 12 and 15 points per game. He's been a quality 3-point shooter. He shot 38% from behind the arc last year, but has struggled inside of it. Defensively, he was looked at as a potential lockdown defender coming out of the draft in 2019. However, that hasn't really manifested itself yet. He's only 24 years old and has the upside to be a very high caliber two-way player. He showed that upside in the final 2 playoff games for the Atlanta Hawks last year, where in game 4 in 30 minutes he had 24 points on 9 for 13 from the field, and then in game 5 in 42 minutes had 35 points, 11 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 assists. It is a contract year for him, and he won't have as much pressure to score as he's the 4th option behind Trae Young, Dejounte Murray, and John Collins. I think the focus for him will be to finally tap into that lockdown defensive potential, and that is something to watch from him this year. Christian Wood got traded from the Houston Rockets to the Dallas Mavericks this offseason, and he will immediately be the number 2 behind Luka Doncic after Jalen Brunson left for New York. Christian Wood is an intriguing case as he puts up very impressive stats. Last year, he averaged 18 points per game, 10 rebounds, and over 2 assists, shooting 50% from the field and 39% from 3. He's a big man that can shoot threes, take guys off the dribble, and he's a decent athlete. He's always been somebody who's possessed a lot of talent. However, he just can't stay in one location. He spent 6 years in the NBA playing for the 76ers, the Charlotte Hornets, Milwaukee Bucks, New Orleans Pelicans, Detroit Pistons, Houston Rockets, and now this season, the Dallas Mavericks. He has never played for a playoff team, but now he ends up on a Mavericks team that made the Western Conference Finals last season. It'll be interesting to see if his game truly does contribute to winning and just how well he fits in Dallas. Norman Powell got traded from the Portland Trail Blazers to the Los Angeles Clippers last season, where he only played 5 games for LA. His season was cut short due to injury, but in those 5 contests, he was extremely impressive for the Clippers. He only played 25 minutes per game, but he averaged a whopping 21 points per game on 51% from the field and 54% from 3. On the season, he averaged 19 points per game, including 46% from the field and 42% from 3. He is one of the premier 3-point shooters in the league, can shoot off the dribble, a really good catch and shoot threat, and he's also a really good straight line driver. His struggles come in every other regard to basketball though, as he's never been a good rebounder, only averaged 3.2 rebounds per game last year, and he's never been known as a passer and is prone to getting tunnel vision. Defensively in Portland, he was a nightmare last season. He was playing out of position at the small forward spot, however his effort was extremely questionable, and while he's a fantastic scorer and a guy who could be the favorite for 6th man of the year next year, his struggles in other areas make it so that I can't put him any higher on this list. Nikola Vucevic had a bit of a down year last season. After being an all-star in 2021, where he averaged 23 points per game, his scoring average dropped to 17.5 points per game. He still averaged 11 rebounds and over 3 assists, however, his 3-point shooting was a dismal 31%, and he shot 4.5 threes per game. Defensively, he lost a little bit of a step as well, and now there's some questions whether he's the right long-term solution at the center spot for the Chicago Bulls. He's still an offensively skilled big man. However, with DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine next to him, he might not be the best fit. He's almost 32 years of age, and it could be that he's on the decline. Maybe last season was just an outlier and he'll get back to his all-star caliber ways. We'll just have to wait and see. I think Keegan Marie is ready to have a big impact right away for the Sacramento Kings, where it is predicted that he will start this season. I had him lower on my big board than most, but that was due to his long-term upside being a little bit lower than I thought. I was always of the opinion that he was a guy that could come in and help a team right away. At the University of Iowa last season, he averaged 23 points per game, shooting 55% from the field and 40% from 3, and he had an extremely impressive summer league stint for the Sacramento Kings as as well. I don't think he's a guy who's really going to make plays for others or be a super impressive defensive piece, but he can shoot the 3 ball, he uses his body really well, he finds ways to score. I think he's a really good 3rd, potentially 4th option right off the bat. Ben Simmons did not play at all last year as he wanted a trade from the Philadelphia 76ers and was willing to hold out to get that. He did get the trade that he wanted, getting traded to the Brooklyn Nets, where he then still didn't play, and reportedly was healthy enough to play in Game 4 of the playoffs and decided not to. However, when he is on the court, he's one of the best defensive players in the league. At 6'11", he can handle the ball, make plays for others, and is an elite defender on and off the ball. Problem is, the dude can't shoot threes and hasn't shown the ability to develop that or even the willingness to develop that. And the last time we saw Ben Simmons play basketball, he was being intimidated by Trae Young's rim protection. But if Ben Simmons plays next year, I can't keep him off a top 100 list because of the things he does defensively and as a playmaker. Terry Rozier is a dynamic scoring guard for the Charlotte Hornets, averaging 19 points per game last year, as well as 4 boards and 4 assists. He's decently efficient, a true shooting percentage of almost 57% last year. He shot 44% from the field, 37% from 3, 85% from the free throw line. He's not going to wow you on the defensive end, but he can get buckets, and he can get hot, and he can take over the game. And in my opinion, he's the perfect 6th man for a good team. However, he's been more than that in Charlotte, being a starter the last 3 years and providing a high level of shot-making ability. As of now, there are concerns about Lonzo Ball's knee injury, and there's rumors that he might miss the start of the 2022-2023 season. He's had an injury-plagued career so far, playing 2 seasons for the Lakers, 2 for the Pelicans, and then last season for the Chicago Bulls. When he did play last year, he was a perfect fit next to Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, providing a very high level of spot-up 3-point shooting, shooting 42% from 3, which is insane when you remember the way he used to shoot when he was with the Los Angeles Lakers. Credit to Lonzo Ball for how he improved his shot form, and it's translated into 3-point shooting success for him. He is essentially a 3-and-D point guard who can defend 3 different positions at 6'6", and while he's not the passer people thought he was going to be coming out of UCLA all those years ago, he still provides some solid value as a playmaker. He's very well rounded and a really good glue piece for a good team. Hopefully he can just stay healthy. Yeah. Last year, some people tapped Keldon Johnson with a potential breakout year. He did break out a little bit. His scoring went up from 13 to 17 points per game. However, that was also with a slight minutes increase, and his rebounding and assist rate didn't really see much improvement. He did shoot almost 47% from the field and 40% from 3, and maybe there's another level for him to get to. He'll certainly have the opportunity after his former teammate DeJounte Murray got traded from the Spurs to the Hawks this offseason, and it will be interesting to see if he can become a 20-point per game scorer. I'm not going to put too much stock into players putting up good numbers on bad teams. We've seen it all the time, but it will be interesting to see how he handles potentially being that number 1 guy. Julius Randle was an interesting guy to watch last season. He was coming off a career year that saw him make his first All-Star appearance in 2020 to 2021, where he averaged 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists for the New York Knicks as they fought their way back to the playoffs. He also shot 41% from 3 that season, and all those numbers took a bit of a dip last year, where he averaged 20 points per game, a little under 10 rebounds, 5 assists, but only shot 41% from the field and 31% from 3, true shooting percentage of 51%. Julius Randle is a guy who's hard to fit in on a good team. He's not good enough to be your number 1 guy, but his game doesn't really fit that of a complementary piece. He's not a floor spacer, a career 33% 3-point shooter, and defensively, he is a bit below average. He's a guy who needs the ball in his hands, but if you have to put the ball in his hands a lot, you're probably not a very good team, and he's never proven that he can be that sort of guy in a playoff series as he struggled in the playoffs in 2021. He's still very talented, a guy that can handle the ball, pass, hit some jumpers off the dribble, although he's streaky and not super efficient at them. He's definitely skilled, so he comes in on this list. And while the stats are impressive, the fit is not, and therefore I can't put him any higher on this list. That wraps up players 81 to 90. Tomorrow, we'll have 71 to 80. NBA Uprise link in the description box below. I'm out of here. Until next time, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.